celebrities of arbitration about particularly arbitration and solution in the metaverse. So he was there with some of also Kleros friends like Sophie Nappert, Colin Rule, who, well, as you know, he was the creator of the distributed solution system at eBay and PayPal, discussing also Alessandro from Jur, who was the other, I'd say, important company doing decentralized justice, and then also other people from the industry. This is it's happening. I mentioned in my presentation that I had my 5 years ago. I had an interview. I was discussing in the early days of decentralized justice, and this was before Kleros, discussing what was the future of arbitration, and I was saying future of arbitration is going to be VR worlds where you will have a claim, and this claim is going to be resolved by AI or by panels of decentralized jurors who are going to be selected from users in the platform. And that was my answer in 2016. And Max Kaiser, who was the guy who interviewed me there, he was, thinking this guy is completely crazy. But now these ideas are already mainstream. And the topic that we discussed today is what these systems of the solution are going to look like in the age of metaverse, and different participants discussed different aspects. Some of them, Alessandro presented the values that should guide the solution systems in the future. Others presented about the enforcement of awards. Others presented about other different topics. And my presentation was about due diligence and due process. Sorry, due process in the context of what it looks like due process in the metaverse. And very interesting, take from Colin in particular, that due process in the world of metaverse looks very different from not the metaverse, in online systems look very different to what it looks like in the traditional lawyer's world. And William, he also mentioned what he always mentions about eBay and PayPal, and how it was really different, the way in which the process worked, and in particular how important the community is, and how community members feel that they are part of a community when they want to become part of the jury or the process of resolution. How people who participated at eBay were way more engaged than people who participated at in PayPal, and they didn't really care because there was not really a PayPal community. It was just a transactional app, right? So really interesting and really, really awesome to see that we are right in the middle of the action, where things are happening, and these discussions are already becoming mainstream, in not only in the Web3 ecosystem, but also in the legal world. So there are lawyers becoming specialists in arbitration for the metaverse, right? So yeah, that was my take. Really, really interesting discussion. So a bit of a roundup of the week. This week, lots of presentations. I don't know why this time of the year they invite me more to present at different places. Today, and so I had another one this morning. We have another one in the evening. So lots of speaking engagements about Kleros. then, well, different conversations with the candidates for the different positions that we are trying to cover. That as well. We are, well, moving forward in conversations with the integrations, which I think that we are going to announce one soon. I said the same thing the last week, but there were like some last time things that it took us some more time to resolve, but I think that things seems to be going in the right direction now. Then let me think. Well, the incubator is going well. They had today the workshop about legal, or yesterday the workshop about legal aspects and legal assistance to people who participate in the program. Then there was also another one with Clément about smart contracts. We are planning to do on January a demo day for people in the community to, well, know the projects that we incubated and ask questions that they have, and also discuss, well, maybe even buy some tokens of this project if you want. So let me see if we have something else. I will let William comment a bit. Develop now, and of course, well, V2 still on the way. As I said, we are going to also do call early January to present the progress that we are doing, so you're on the loop. And now, yes, I'm going to leave William comment a bit on his side.
Yeah, so I mean, as Federico said, like the developers are working on V2, so that's the research that is mostly done. It sounds like they're like making good progress on the bridge, particularly sort of like the if you look at our sort of path docs and my presentations on how we envision V2, we have a sort of like fast bridge that will like facilitate use on a rollup and allow decisions to be enforced more quickly. So apparently that's progressing well. In terms of research that I'm working on, I gathered some data for the new fellows. I'm continuing to work on sort of like the academic-y theoretical research around griefing factors, but that will allow us, in future versions of Kleros as we continue research and release future modules in V2, because that's like it's easier to release updates based on new research and
maybe
the upcoming version.
Explain, maybe I don't know if everyone knows what griefing factors are. Maybe like explain like shortly what this is and why it's important for Kleros.
Yeah. So my sort of current research that I'm working on is focused on this notion of griefing factor, which is a notion introduced by Vitalik several years ago in terms of relating to crypto economic systems more generally. It's basically a notion of sabotage, that if you have a troll that is willing to destroy their own money to like do harm to others, how much harm can they do for the amount of money they do of their own that they destroy? So if you have a troll that can like destroy, like do $5 of harm for $1 of cost, you have a griefing factor of 5. And if you have, and so on, like you can also have griefing factors that are sort of in terms of time, like maybe the troll destroys 1 ether and like causes the system to delay for a month. And now you sort of have a month per ETH griefing factor. And you want your system to be resilient to these trolls and to have sort of as low griefing factors as possible, so that if a troll wants to destroy their money to do others harm, they can't like do too much harm compared to the amount of harm they do to themselves, and that gives you a sort of economic stability. So this is an interesting idea of like I mean, it builds on classical notions and classical economic research on sabotage, but it's particularly relevant in a crypto economic Web3 world, because due to the sort of not permissionless nature of our systems, I mean sort of blockchain world in general, there are more opportunities to grief than in sort of the classical world. Like there are lots of deposit games where if you can challenge somebody and cause the system to delay, because that's kind of the crypto economic tools you have in the absence of a trusted third party. So how does one build systems that are resistant to this? How does one build cloud systems that are resistant to this? Like if you look in our yellow paper, we already have calculations of griefing factors for certain griefs that we identified in the current and upcoming version of Kleros. Like how much sort of grief can you do in terms of like unnecessarily appealing? You blow your own money and you like make extra appeals to cause the system to delay. I'm doing I'm sort of stepping back and doing some more pure economic research, where I'm like, okay, like what are the mathematical properties of this concept? What are, like, in addition to Kleros, what are some examples in other sort of crypto economic use cases? Eventually, this might be used for, we might put this into an academic article, which would fulfill our requirements for the DPI grant we got from the French Public Bank. But moreover, it will, like allow us to delve into how we can make sabotage-resistant systems.
Yeah, thanks. And so, since you mentioned the BPI, yeah, that's another important thing for this week. We're finalizing or trying to finalize the report we have to present regularly to the BPI bank in France, which is one of the entities that funded Kleros. So when we finish this, also we will publish probably also in January, or maybe even end of December, depends on how long it takes. A community update report, so you can get all in one place all of the progress that we did since the last one. It was in June, that's going to be published the coming weeks for sure. And I think that's it for today. I don't know if you have any question to ask.
Maybe not a question, but a quick update about the Ledger event.
Go ahead, Annabelle. Interesting.
Yes, so I was at the Ledger event, Ledger Open in Paris last week on the 9th and the 10th of December. There were some great announcements made and very interesting presentations. I met a lot of developers from Ledger. And yeah, it was very interesting. The Ledger's event are always quite a thing to be at. Like the hospitality is really awesome. But yeah, we got to talk about quite interesting things.
Don't tell too much, Annabelle.
Yeah,
just don't
interesting things in between presentations. The announcement that we can share is that there is now a payment card by Ledger. That's nothing new now.
not on our end, so we cannot really comment much more.
We cannot.
That was an interesting event.
It was very interesting, and maybe there will be something in process after it. Maybe.
I'm going to stop you there also.
Exactly.
Okay. Anything else, Annabelle, from your side to update?
Not especially from my side. You mentioned, yes, the reports, the BPI reports, and there will be some, as usual, financial information to provide. So currently, I'm, of course, working on the month of December, but also wrapping up 2021. So yes, this is taking most of my time, on top of some other surprises that we try to prepare for the cooperative members. So this is a lot of preparation as well. I would like to keep the surprise as well for that. So there is a lot of teasing going on.
Good. Well, since you mentioned the cooperative, let me remind everyone in the call that people can apply to be part of the cooperative if they want, and that will give them, a way to have a voice and vote in the cooperative meetings, and even fire the president if they think that he's underperforming. So hopefully not, but that's the powers that people have at the assembly. Okay. Well, I think that's it for this week. We will see you in the metaverse, as they say now. And we will share, of course, the recording with all of you. Bye, guys.
You guys.
Bye.